Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to Abraham's Garage. Hope you're good, because I'm good, and hope you're good so we can all be good together. Guys, today I want to be teaching you how to drift, and this is very bad, okay, very dangerous, but you're gonna do it anyway, so might as well teach you the right way of doing it, right? Like, you're not gonna listen. If I say don't do it, you're still gonna go and do it, so I might as well teach you. So stay with me and leave me a thumbs up and a subscribe if you do enjoy the video. And let's go and see how we're gonna make the drifty in the winter and the summer timing. Drifting can be very bad, right? But if you don't do it properly, it can even be worse. So alright guys, and for this particular video we're gonna be using Abu Assad, the Ricer, to demonstrate. If you guys don't know, this is my Ricer car, manual transmission I like to use for these type of things. So let's get inside of Abu Assad and talk about how to do drift. Alright guys, so there's actually multiple ways you could do drifting. So one can be that you have a manual transmission car with a handbrake. Another one could be if you have an automatic with handbrake, which is kind of similar to a manual and the handbrake. Another can be if you don't have a handbrake at all. So let's say if you're just using a four-wheel drive car, so cars like Audis with Quattros, Mercedes with the 4MATIC, and BMWs with the Extra, so things like that, you can also use that to drift. Those are actually very good to drift. And there's a third option, that when you have a foot brake, and foot brake you can also do, but it's harder than all of them, just because you need to correlate your foot with the type of drifting that you're doing. Alright guys, so let's go and show a demonstration of things that we need to be doing in order to make a drift. So for this purpose, we're going to be making a drift. So let's say we want to turn into the right, and the right is on this side for me. So let's just say we want to go this way. What we want to be doing is, first we want to get our speed not too high, not too low. And again, this part comes with practice. The more you practice, the more that you know of how you want to, like what speed you want to keep your car at. Alright, so now let's say you see an opening on this side, and what I want to do is I want to get a little bit of a longer range, right? So what I do is actually go this way to the left, just a tiny bit, and then right after I fully go to the right, so turning it halfway or all the way like you're about to make a turn. Same time I pull the handbrake. So once I do pull the handbrake, the car does go into a drift, and very fast right after that, once your wheel is to the right, you need to go full to the left. And that is basically what prevents you from not hitting the curb and going all the way into a drift and keeping your car and going straight. So first you want to go left a little bit, and then go right and pull your handbrake, and then go back to left to control the car from spinning out or going out. Now this particular situation can differ. So let's say if you have a good handbrake, when I say good, it means when you pull it a little bit, the car actually hooks up and locks up. Or if you have a bad handbrake like I do, you have to pull it all the way up and it's not that strong even when you do pull it all the way up. It depends on that situation where you could do a drift. So for me, I can only do it in winter, because if I do pull it in summertime, the car is not going to lock up and it's not going to make a turn. But in winter, because it's more slippery, once I do that, then the car locks up and does make that turn. Now if you have a better handbrake, you can do the same thing in summertime. Just be careful, you know, I don't endorse any of these things, but I thought I'd teach you anyways, right? To do that, and even in summer it's going to be able to hook and go. Now guys, I recommend you do the steps that I've explained, but start off with lower speed first, just so you get a feel of it. And the first couple times it's going to be hard. Every car is different, so it's going to get you some time to get used to the type of car that you have and the way you do it. But eventually you're going to get better at it, and your speed's going to increase a little bit, and drift is going to become nicer as you're coming into it, as you're making it. So start with low speed. Again, just be careful, because little accidents can happen. What's very common with this is hitting the curb, and you don't want to do that. Once you hit the curb, the car gets really messed up. Need to change a lot of parts, very expensive. So now let's go to the second type, which is very common with cars now. They're called the four-wheel, I like to call it the four-wheel drive type of drift. And usually these cars nowadays, the newer cars, you do not have a handbrake to pull on, so it makes it very difficult. It's automatic brake, or it's a foot brake, and it's a hand release, very hard to do. So let's go ahead and explain those type of things. Those type of cars are actually a lot easier to drift than these type of cars once you do get a hang of it. So because they have the four-wheel drive system, somehow it makes the car turn better, so you never get stuck. And making it turn better brings out a nicer drift in a way, right? So what you got to do is what I like to call throttle steering. So you use the throttle to steer the car. So let's go ahead and just show a demonstration of Abu Assad right now. So basically, you do not have a handbrake, you just have your steering wheel and you have your gas. So what you want to be doing is, let's say again, we're going this way, turn the wheel, gas, and then the gas is gonna, depending on how much you gas, is gonna make the car go into a drift. The more you gas, obviously the bigger the drift, harder to get back. And then as soon as you gas, you get it into a drift, you want to turn your wheel the other way and then gas it as well. So every time you gas, that's when the car is making the turn for you. It's responding to whatever you're steering with. So if you're to just steer the steering wheel, that's not gonna help you. That's not gonna make you into a turn. It's the gas that's actually giving the car power, making it turn. And guys, something very important for this type of stuff, traction control needs to be turned off usually and always for it to be better. There are two types of ways of turning off traction control. So one way is pressing it once and traction control goes halfway off. But a lot of people don't know that if you hold your hand, especially on the newer cars, sportier newer cars, if you hold it for about 10 to 15 to 20 seconds, depending on the car that you have, then the traction control goes fully off. And that could be a little dangerous, so don't try it if you haven't before. But that is when you're gonna get the best amount of drift out of the car, just because you have no assistant, the car is not gonna be able to pause itself. So things that I've noticed with some cars is when you gas and it goes into a drift like that, the car cuts out the power, cuts out the gas. And when the gas is out, you cannot move and you cannot steer the car. Alright guys, hope you've enjoyed the video and hope you learned a couple new things. You know, I don't really recommend doing this type of stuff because again, it could be very dangerous, especially for you if you don't know what you're doing, right? But again, it took me a long time to try to figure it out because I really wanted to. I think it looks pretty cool. It's a pretty cool thing to do. So I thought that I share it with you guys. But again, if you know it's hard for you, it's not a safe thing, don't do it. You know, I also recommend that. But you know, it's also a very fun thing to do. So you know, a lot of people are doing it. Thought I'd share the way I like to do it, just so you can relate, maybe practice, maybe do some things a little bit more different, or some things that don't work out for you. Maybe you do this on a try. I've tried this with multiple cars so far. Very good, very good. And you know, hope you like the video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up for me if you like the video so I can make more videos like this. And hope you have a good day.